The Mad King, Part 2. After his victory against the rebels, the young king stood on the balcony of his castle, gazing at the river where flames still flickered upon the water. The air smelled of burnt wood and flesh, yet he felt no regret. His enemies were gone. His rule was secure and his mind was sharper than ever. But as he turned away, a chilling whisper echoed in his mind. The deep and familiar voice echoed in the eerie silence of the throne room, chilling him to the bone, for it belonged to his father, long gone and consumed by the beasts lurking in the forest. A wave of unease washed over him as he stood up, glancing toward the dark forest beyond the castle walls, where memories of his father's demise haunted him like an unshakable shadow. In the hidden corners of the kingdom, murmurs of rebellion swirled among conspirators, plotting their next move against the young king, emboldened by the belief that he was cursed. As discussions unfolded in the grand hall, whispers of the young king's supposed madness filled the air, leaving the nobles grappling with their fears about his uncanny intellect. In solitude, the young king wrestled with his thoughts, poring over ancient tomes that hinted at a foreboding truth about his lineage and the darkness it might unleash upon the realm. Unbeknownst to him, a shadowy figure lurked just beyond the castle walls, driven by a sinister purpose as it plotted in the depths of the forest where ancient secrets lay waiting to be unleashed. Then an old woman among them spoke. "We do not fight him with weapons," she said. "We fight him with something he cannot control." The poisoned crown. In an effort to calm tensions, the elders arranged a grand feast in honor of the king's victory. Lords and knights from across the land attended, drinking and feasting in celebration. The king, ever watchful, knew his enemies lurked among them, but he accepted their tribute nonetheless. At the height of the celebration, the elder woman stepped forward carrying a golden crown adorned with rare jewels. Her voice, steady and unwavering, echoed through the hall, capturing the attention of even the most distracted guests. The crown, she explained, symbolized more than royalty. It represented unity, trust, and the power of love over hatred. With each word, she wove a tapestry of hope, urging the gathered nobles to embrace a strength that transcended mere weapons. Her wisdom sparked a flame within them, igniting a shared vision that could rally all against their common foe. "A gift, Your Majesty," she said. "A token of your greatness." The king examined the crown carefully. There were no hidden weapons, no visible traps. Yet something about it felt wrong. Still he took it, placing it upon his head as the crowd cheered. That night a terrible sickness overtook him. He awoke in agony, his head burning as if flames danced inside his skull. His vision blurred, and the walls of his chamber seemed to twist and breathe. Shadows moved unnaturally, shaping themselves into familiar figures. His parents, the elders, and the soldiers he had burned in the river. In that moment of torment, the weight of his past actions bore down on him, each ghostly figure whispering accusations and memories that he could no longer escape. The weight of their gazes pierced through him, each haunted visage reminding him of the choices he had made. Choices that would forever alter the course of his kingdom. Desperate cries echoed in his mind, drowning out reason as he grappled with the reality of his choices, the throne he had once coveted now feeling like a prison. "You are no king," the voices whispered. "You are a monster." Staggering to his mirror, he looked at his reflection, only to find it staring back at him with a wicked grin. "You are me now, the reign of madness." From that night forward, the king was never the same. His paranoia deepened. His mind twisted further into darkness. He no longer trusted his advisors, executing nobles at random for crimes they had not committed. He spoke to shadows, claiming they whispered secrets no one else could hear. The kingdom, once vibrant, fell into despair. Rumors spread like wildfire among the people, tales of a ruler who had lost his grip on reality. Servants whispered fears of retribution for any slight word or action. The streets grew quiet, the laughter of children replaced by the silence of dread. Each night the king's mind sank deeper into chaos, tormented by visions that blurred the lines between friend and foe. Friends became shadows, enemies became specters, and trust evaporated in the air, thick with suspicion. On a stormy night, they stormed the castle, swords drawn ready to end his reign. But as they reached the throne room, they found him seated, smiling in the darkness. I knew you would come, he whispered. I have seen this before. He stood, his eyes gleaming with madness. But tell me, have you seen what happens next? The torches in the hall flickered. Then one by one they went out, and the screams began. Panic erupted among the warriors as darkness enveloped the room, their swords now useless against the unseen terror. Shadows writhed and twisted, taking on ghastly forms that seemed to whisper their deepest fears. One warrior shouted, "We must fight!" But uncertainty gripped their hearts. The ruler's laughter echoed a chilling sound that thrummed with power. "You cannot fight what you cannot see." He taunted, his voice dripping with malice.
Watch out for part 3.